Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. Once again, this is Richard, and for today's topic, we are going to discuss the continuation of our review for the Revit Architecture Certified Professional Examination. Last exercise, if I remember it right, so what we did is we discussed the detailing wherein we created the call out, and then from the call out view we put some details on that particular view, wherein we put some detail component, repeating detail component, detail line. Now this time around, I'm going to teach you another way to that you can do to create detail in your project. And this time, we are going to discuss about drafting views. Drafting views always appear in the examination as well. Okay? So usually the reason why we use drafting view is to create an associated view-specific details that are not part of the model design. So meaning to say, any changes that you made on your drafting view, it will not affect your 3D model and vice versa. Any changes that you made on your 3D model, it will not affect your drafting view. Okay, one reason is that drafting view, it's actually a separate view, 2D drawing. Okay, so rather than create a call out, just like what we did on our last exercise and add details to our call out, you may want to create detail conditions where the model is not needed. Okay, so for example, a carpet transition detail which shows where carpet switches to tile, or roof drain details, which is what we are going to do. Okay, so for this exercise, we're going to create a drafting view for our roof drain. Okay, and apology for the delay of my video, because I just to give you an information, I already moved to New Zealand and I arrived here last Saturday. So that's why I'm still adjusting to the climate here, as well as the time difference. So in Singapore, compared to New Zealand is advanced 5 hours advance. So let's say, for example, it's already 5 o'clock in Singapore. So in New Zealand, it's already 10 p.m. Okay. So apology for that, because I already found a job here in New Zealand. So I was able to landed in this Auckland's Auckland, New Zealand leading surveying company. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what company is that next time. Okay, anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to open the exercise file for this one. Drafting views. All right, so drafting view. All right. And one thing that you need to consider when using a drafting view, similar to other views like floor plan, section, elevation, drafting views are listed in the project browser under drafting views. So you will be able to see that later on, that once we create the drafting view, it will be listed on our project browser. Another thing is, all of the detailing tools that we use in detail views are available to you in drafting views. Okay, so you can add 2D drawings on your drafting view using those detailing tools. And another thing, any callouts placed in a drafting view must be reference callout, because as you can see, drafting view, it's actually just a 2D drawing. So you need to reference any callout that you're going to place on your drafting view. Okay, so what else? Although not associated with the model, you can still drag the drafting views from the browser into the drawing sheet. Okay, so you can do that. Now, let's go to our exercise. So let's say, for example, in this exercise, I want to create a drafting view. Okay, I want to create a drafting view for our roof drain. So to do that, let's create first a drafting view that you can find from the View tab, and then you can see their drafting view. So you just need to click drafting view, and then you just name it. So let's say, let's call this roof drain detail. Oops. So roof drain, detail. And then I'll just use the default scale here and then I select OK. All right, so like what I've said, like your normal views, drafting view is listed on your project browser, which is this one. If you expand that, you will now see your drafting view there. Okay, so this is 2D environment. So now what we are going to do, so we're going to insert our detail here. So I'm going to select annotate, and then after that, you need to go to the component, detail component, and from the properties, just select here the drafting view or the 2D detail drawing that you want to insert. So let's say I'm going to insert the roof drain. I already shown you last exercise on how to load detail elements, okay, in your detail component tool. All right, so you can review that particular exercise. Okay, so I'll just going to place the location. There you go. And then after that, I'm going to select here modify. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a reference plane here. So I go to the architecture. I'll select your reference plane. I'm going to draw first point and then second point here. There you go. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna click the roof drain, and then let's say I'll just change this to 400. There you go. Okay, and then I'm just going to modify this one. So let's say I'm going to create. Let me just transfer this to the other side. All right, so let me click this one. How about just 350? All right, then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add details to this detail component. Okay, so to do that, oh, by the way, like what I have said earlier, drafting view is just a 2D environment. That's why you will notice if you go to your architecture tab, you will notice all the 3D modeling tools here are disabled. You go to structure, you'll notice it's disabled. Systems, it's disabled. See, all the 3D modeling tools are disabled because drafting view it's just a 2D environment. So just remember that. Okay, so let us try to add some details to our drawing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select annotate here and let me create a field region. Okay, field region. Okay, we already did exercise of this one, how to create field region. So I'm going to select this one. And from the type selector, so I'm gonna use here ortho crosshatch small, this one. And then I'm going to start using the line tool. I'm going to pick here one, making sure that the chain here is checked, by the way, so that the line will be created continuously. So I'm going to pick here 2, 3, and all the way here. And I'm going to move the slider down straight, and then I'm going to type 50. Enter. Then I'm going to move here. I'm going to pick here and this one. So basically, this is the boundary of your drafting view. So I'm going to select here check to finish. There you go. Okay, so if you want to modify the boundary of your drafting view, so let's say I want to make this line here, this one, this line here, this boundary line, the vertical portion. I want to make that invisible line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the field region and then select edit boundary. Then after that, you'll be able to select it separately, click, and then you can change here the line style. So let's say I want to make it invisible line. And then I'm going to click outside and then just select check to finish edit mode. There you go. Just click outside. So as you can see, it's now invisible. So if you want to see the line type or the line weight of your detailed drawing, you can actually turn off the thin lines. You can click this one and you will now see there the line weight if you want. But it's too thick for me, so probably I'll just turn on the thin lines again. Alright, so I can see the fine details. So what else? Let us try to add more details to this one. Let me just make this invisible also. So select the filled region, edit boundary, click the line, and then change here invisible line, and then finish. Okay, so it's invisible. So next, I'll go back to filled region again. So I use the rectangle tool. So this time I'm gonna use here sand, very dense. So I'm going to click somewhere here. All right, and then I'm going to click all the way here. Okay, and then modify. So that's the boundary of my filled region. So probably I'll just click this one and I'll change this to what? About 2.5. Oh, how about 7? Anyway, whatever. Okay, then after that, I'm gonna make this again invisible line. Bakit? And then invisible line. Ba't nauntog? Okay, and then after that, check to finish. Tumiyak. Okay, next, I'm gonna use here detail line. So just to put some more details, I'm going to add some lines here. 1, 2. Then I'm going to pick here. Okay, then modify. Just click that. Okay, and then I'll just copy this. Click, hold Control, and then you click another line. Then after that, you can use the copy tool, making sure that constraint is checked. Move it up. What's about how about 5? Oh, it's too high. No. Undo. Select again. Copy. How about 4? Okay. I'll just use that one. Just to add some more details to my roof drain. So what I'm gonna do next is, after I add these details to this right side of this roof drain, I'm going to use the window selection to select all the objects, just like that. And then I'm going to use this mirror pick axis. You click that one, and then you can click the vertical line here, the middle. All right, there you go. And after that, the next thing that you can do is to add another detail here, detail component. If you remember, we can use the break line. Break line, if it is horizontal, you want to make it vertical. So before you pick, press space bar. It will becomes vertical, and then just pick and modify. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to select this whole thing except the reference plane, plane. Then just mirror that to the other side. There you go. You pick. All right. Okay. So that is now your roof drain details. So you can add some annotations to your roof drain. Okay. So basically, this is how the roof drain works. So if you want to save this roof drain, so let's say, for example, you will be using this on your and other project, you don't want to recreate again your drafting view, what you can do is you can save it. You can go to drafting views, you right click the roof drain, and then there's an option there, save to new file. Okay, so probably I'll just save it, for example, here, this folder. So roof drain detail drafting view. Okay, just name it. There you go. So what I'm going to do next after I create the roof drain detail. So basically this is how you create your drafting view and just put some details. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the project. So let's say I'm done. I'll close that one. No need to save. So I'm going to create a new project. So this time around, so let's say for example, the project is already started and then they have another detail for the roof drain, and it so happened that it has the same level same detail of level, or it's just the same model or drafting view from your last project. So instead of pre-create that drafting view, since you already save it, what you can do is you can go to the Insert tab, and then you can insert from file, insert views from file, and then you look where you save it. This is the one, and then open. Just okay, making sure this is checked. Okay, just okay to duplicate types. There you go. So by doing this, you don't need to create again your drafting view or your detail view. So once you save it, so all you have to do is to reinsert your drafting view in any project wherein you have that the same detail of roof drain. Okay, so there you go about drafting view. So this topic is always being asked in the examination. So hopefully you have learned something from this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.